Okay, hello, this is Z-Man96 here, and I just got finished watching the last episode of Erased. So, yeah, I'm just gonna start from the beginning, It shows Satoru, as he tells Yashiro that he has his memories back, and it has a brief flashback to earlier when he was talking to Kenya and Hiromi, and he tells them about the fact he has his memories back, which, goes back to my point last week where I was a little irritated that he hadn't told anyone else about his memories and just confronted Yashiro by himself. But it did. I was pretty satisfied to know that he actually had told someone else, and he wasn't just going in there, blind or whatever. So let's see. I'm trying not. I'm not gonna spoil the ending because then there's no point in you watching the show. But just the ending I thought was pretty. It was very good. It was good. Definitely solidified the fact that this is the best anime of the season, probably by far. I mean, none of theirs are even close right now. I mean, that's just my opinion. So, it shows, Satoru talking to, Kenya and Hiromi, and, he decides to, trust them because of some of the words Eri he said, Katakuri from the alternate timeline. So that encourages him to trust them. They come up with a plan to confront Yashiro, where he'll, record him with a phone, try to get him to confess to the current crimes because the old crimes are past the statute of limitations. Um, yeah, so that is important because Yashiro finds the phone. But I'm not gonna tell you how it goes after that because it would, really ruin the ending. So let's see. There's not really much else I can say without getting into spoiler territory. So if you don't want any spoilers, I would say you click off the video right now because I'm about to get into the spoilers. Okay, okay, you've had time to get out. So after this, Satoru, essentially confirms that Yashiro can't, the whole existence, whole reason to live is, Satoru being alive. So Satoru tries to go over the edge of the roof of the hospital, and, at first Yashiro saves him because that's his reason to live. But of course he, loses his grip because, holding up a guy and a wheelchair at the same time it's gonna be heavy. So yeah, he loses his grip. Satoru falls, but there's like this air mattress. No, not you know what I mean. I can't think of the right word to describe it. Those things they have for suicide jumpers ready. So they caught him. That Kenya and the others were waiting by it. And after that Yashiro gets arrested. And Yashiro gets arrested. A few years pass. Satoru's become a successful manga artist because all of his issues have been resolved. Unlike the alternate timeline, his problem was he couldn't go very deep, but now that's not a problem because he's confronted all of his problems. Saved Hinazuki and the others, so he can go as deep as he feels like going without worrying. So yeah, it's a relative. Oh yeah, and he does end up meeting with Eri eventually. Obviously, she doesn't recognize him because she's from a completely different timeline, so it's a pretty happy ending, I guess. So, like I said, this is easily the best anime of the season. There's really nothing else to say. I mean, it's done. There's not going to be a second season. At least I don't see why there would be because they pretty much solved the crime. They got Yashiro arrested. Everything's pretty much finished. So I don't think there's not going to be a second season. Which, like I said, some of the previous episodes did feel a little rushed. So I thought they should have, stretched it out. Maybe there should have been like 2 seasons. But that's a conversation for another day. Point is, there's 1 season. It was extremely good. Like I said, there wasn't much competition this season. I think I didn't see all the anime that were out, but I've been watching Grimgar and Gate and some of the others, but those are probably the strongest competition. All honestly, they're not really close. I mean, Gate's just a random, like action anime with harem. Grimgar is probably a little bit better than Gate, but a little bit of a story. Like I said, they're not really close. So, yeah, that's all I really got to say on Erased, episode 12. As an episode on its own, it was pretty good. It was a pretty good end to the series. Really I wasn't disappointed with it at all. So, yeah, that's all I got to say.